Maya, a vibrant young artist, found her world turning gray. Her dream of exhibiting at the prestigious City Hall gallery had shattered into a million pieces. The rejection letter, stark and unforgiving, lay crumpled in her hand, mocking her aspirations. Negative thoughts, like hungry wolves, descended upon her mind. "You're not good enough," they snarled. "What were you thinking, even trying?" Their incessant barking drowned out the whispers of reason. Days bled into weeks, and Maya became a prisoner in her own apartment. The once vibrant canvas remained untouched, its blank stare a constant reminder of her perceived failure. Sleep evaded her, replaced by a relentless loop of self-doubt and what-ifs. The joy of creating, once her solace, turned into a painful memory. One day, a knock on the door startled her. It was her kind neighbor, Mrs. Hernandez, an elderly woman with eyes that held wisdom gathered over years. Sensing Maya's despair, Mrs. Hernandez invited her for tea. Hesitantly, Maya accepted. As they sipped chamomile tea, Mrs. Hernandez, noticing Maya's downcast demeanor, gently inquired. Maya poured her heart out, the words tumbling forth like a dam breaking. Mrs. Hernandez listened patiently, her expression a mixture of empathy and understanding. When Maya finished, Mrs. Hernandez took her hand. "My dear," she said, her voice warm and soothing, "life is like the ocean. There will be storms, but the sun always shines again." She paused, her gaze fixed on a distant memory. "Do you know about my son, Miguel?" Maya shook her head. Mrs. Hernandez took a deep breath. Miguel was a talented musician, his guitar his constant companion. He dreamt of playing at the National Auditorium, the biggest stage in our country. He practiced tirelessly, his passion echoing through the halls of this very apartment. Her voice softened. But then, tragedy struck. A car accident shattered his hand, leaving him unable to play again. It was a blow, a storm that seemed to engulf him, just like you now. A lump formed in Maya's throat. "But what happened then?" she whispered. Mrs. Hernandez smiled, the lines on her face crinkling. "Miguel, like you, struggled. He questioned his purpose, his identity. But slowly, he began to rebuild. He started teaching music to children, his passion finding a new channel. His music now filled their lives, not the grand stage, but it brought him immense joy." She squeezed Maya's hand. "My dear, it's okay to feel sad, to feel lost. But don't let negative thoughts control you. See them as clouds, temporary and fleeting. What defines you is not failure, but your ability to rise again, stronger and wiser." Mrs. Hernandez's words sparked a flicker of hope within Maya. It wasn't a raging fire, but a small ember, a spark of possibility. She started small, taking walks in the park, the gentle breeze and chirping birds whispering encouragement. She visited art galleries, immersing herself in the works of other artists, their creations fueling her own creative spirit. She even started attending a pottery class, her fingers finding solace in shaping the cool clay. The negative thoughts still came, whispering doubts and anxieties. But now, Maya had a shield. She acknowledged them, but refused to let them define her. She focused on the present, on the small joys, the gentle progress. Slowly, the gray clouds began to part, allowing slivers of sunlight through. One evening, as Maya sat sketching in her balcony, a gentle breeze carried a familiar scent, Mrs. Hernandez's lavender cookies. She smiled, remembering her wise neighbor and the simple yet profound advice. Looking at her sketch, a feeling of accomplishment washed over her. It wasn't perfect, but it was hers, a testament to her perseverance. The journey was far from over. There would be setbacks, moments of self-doubt. But Maya had learned a valuable lesson. She wasn't powerless against the storm of negativity. She had the power to choose, to acknowledge the darkness, but to focus on the light within. And that, she realized, was the true measure of her strength. Remember, Maya's story is not just hers. It's a reflection of the struggles we all face. We all experience setbacks, rejections, and moments of despair. But within each of us lies the strength to overcome, to rise above the negativity and create the life we desire. It's a journey of constant learning, of embracing our vulnerabilities, and choosing to focus on the possibility that lies within.